Okay, you're recording.
Okay. The Columbia Open Space Meeting for April 17th to order at 9:02. Okay. I will entertain a motion. Second.
So moved. I have the minutes. I'll second it. Thank you. And you want the minutes? I just printed the only other one here.
No.
Dreamy,
We're good. Okay. Any additions or corrections to minutes? Here, not. They were beautifully done, thank you, Chris.
You need ink in your friend.
I did, and I changed it when I didn't. I didn't know it. Went home, but we would read this current copy. Okay, all in favor of the
I've said.
and one abstention. And Paul. Did you like the minutes?
Yes, good morning. I raised my hand.
Okay, did you like the minutes? Or yes? Yes, okay, okay, and anyone opposed? No. Okay.
Who's abstaining?
I am.
Oh,
Robin's abstained. We're good, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 abstain.
right.
Okay. This is a hybrid Zoom meeting. And so the long and the short of the rules are, if anybody online or anybody misbehaves, we'll ask you to leave. And you guys too. Okay. All right. Audience of citizens for anything not on the agenda.
They have the agenda.
Okay, yes. Okay. So I think we have Kelly.
Hi, yes, I'm here. I'm actually just trying to figure out, for some reason my camera isn't turning on, so I'm just playing around with that. But I'm here.
I usually wiggle mine.
That's all right, we can hear you.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I'm happy to give you all an update whenever you're ready.
Okay, Kelly, would you like to update us on anything?
Yes, yes. So I was able to actually touch base with Liz from IMBA yesterday, or Monday rather. And yeah, there's a couple of updates I wanted to share. So it looks like they have a very tight schedule for the spring and summer. But they can get a trip in actually the end of this month. So April 28th to May 2nd is when they were thinking. But what was happening was that the last time that IMBA met with DEEP and all of the different departments, there was a little bit of pushback from wildlife. I don't know if we sort of mentioned that or if Honor mentioned that in the last call, but basically, wildlife was a little bit concerned about the possible sensitive areas that haven't been, like in the natural database. And so wildlife was concerned about that. But what the main point that sort of Kim and Liz were trying to make was, well, we really have this kind of one window for flagging, and if we don't do it now, they'd have to wait until the fall, right? So it'd be ideal for them to go out sooner rather than later. not to mention that because it's wetter now, it's actually a really good time to get a sense of what, what any trail conditions might look like. So all that to say, last week we Trust Public Land set up a couple meetings with Deep to sort of convince them that we could do the flagging. And I did get to speak to Lindsay Sir from Deep on Monday, and she said it's okay. Like, let's go ahead and flag. And actually, this gives wildlife a couple months to come out if they need to, between the next time that IMBA would come down. So I think we're all good there. So they're going to be out in a couple weeks. So yeah, like I said, that would be April 28th through May 2nd to come and flag the potential trail.
So that's actually flagging the trails, not flagging wetlands, actually flagging the location of the trails.
Exactly. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
And that would then allow Deep to come out and look again, or how does Deep play into that?
I think Deep plays into that where, so they'll put the flags down. Obviously, nothing is permanent when you put flagging down. But basically it gives Deep sort of a window of opportunity from spring to early fall this year to come out and look at the trail, and see if there's any, areas of concern that they have. So that gives them that window to sort of double check. And then if there was a real big concern, that could go back to IMBA and IMBA could adjust accordingly. Yeah. And yeah, so it gives them a couple of months to actually do that if that's something that they really want to check up on and is really important to them.
Okay, so that's very, so nothing will be carved in stone during the summer or the fall, right?
Right. That's right. Yeah, it's more just to get, here's the sense of the trail. And this is where IMBA has left. And I wanted to also mention to you that Kim showed me sort of a new version, and it looks like she's incorporating a lot of feedback, both from the community and also from Deep. So I wanted to mention that, like, and I can give you a couple examples. But one of, let's see, I'm just going to pull this up. Yeah, so one, I know that there were some questions around Lake Ridge Drive, and it looks like IMBA's really trying to make the Wellswood Road access point, where you guys have town land, work instead. So as an example, that I know that was a concern, and I think there's more conversations to be had there, but basically the plan that Liz showed me showed that being the new access point, sort of based on all of your feedback.
Oh, that's very good. And when we'll possibly get a look at that in May?
Yeah. Yes, for sure. And I think and what Liz has been reticent to share another version just because there's been these conversations with Deep, and because there's been a little bit of I don't know, pushback regarding just thinking through this wildlife piece and where, because there hasn't been any inventory done, I guess, in Mono Pond. So I think that's where they've been a little reticent. So I think that they will probably talk through different plans and they can show a plan, maybe nothing official until we get like a full stamp of approval from Deep. But that being said, that week, I think it would be really nice for us to plan, I'm sure you guys will want to go out at some point with IMBA as they're flagging. And I was thinking also we could invite Deep again to come see maybe even some new players that haven't been out from the state to just sort of see the project and maybe, start to associate warm and fuzzy feelings from it instead of anything else. So.
Yes, we look forward to doing that because we would definitely like to reach a point where we can do a lot of public relations on this,
Mhm.
especially among politicians. Because once we have received this plan, we're going to have to find funding to implement it.
Totally. Yeah.
And so we'd like to start increasing funds and working the grounds.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, the last thing I'll say about that too is that so right, so flagging in a couple weeks, and that's mostly both because of spring and because of IMBA's very tight spring and summer schedule. And then Liz had said, you know, she wants to do one more once we, you know, once the plan is basically very close to being finalized, one more community engagement session. And she had said, you know, that could be either in person or online. Maybe she was saying that online, you know, could have some more buy-in of other folks, but I had said, I think it'd be great if you guys did come back and maybe we could do, you know, another fundraiser and, you know, a lot of
Yeah.
things around it. So that would be my recommendation. So she seemed open to that.
Great.
Just one question, are you flagging just new construction or do you flag the existing trails that are part of the plan as well?
Any of the, yeah, I mean, the whole, the new 12 miles, so anything that was already, if anything in the plan has the existing ones, it would include that. But yeah, basically the 12, it looks like it's about 12 point something miles that they in the concept plan right now.
A lot of flags.
It is a lot of flag. Yeah, but it's true. She said, she did say that. She said, you know, it might not be the most exciting thing, you know, just Matt and Liz calling out to each other different grades, but I think it'll be good. And it'll take a week. So
Well, that's great, Kelly. Thank you so much for attending and looking, filling us in. Kelly, would you entertain any questions from the audience?
sure. And I'm sorry about my camera. I'm trying to, I wish I could just turn it on.
Audience, do you have any questions? Kelly is the Trust for Public Land representative in this project. And so she's not writing it, she's in charge of it. She's the project manager.
So, I'm Bob Dimash, I live up on the end of, Lake Ridge, there's the ties. The only question I had is it, I'm a little confused why we would even entertain, Lake Ridge Drive. Being really considered a cul-de-sac, and, I mean, people walk their dogs, they walk their kids. Yeah, they're constantly walking, and I don't care who you are, I don't come into my neighborhood at 25 miles an hour all the time.
Mhm.
But every time I come around the corner, I see people. I question, why am I doing this? And I love my neighbors and I love my neighborhood. People that don't have any skin in this game aren't gonna have that feeling, and someone's gonna get hurt or killed on that road.
Well, I think that what has happened here is these are people who, you know, come in from the outside and they look at maps and they look at the condition of roads and they thought, well, here's a trail that's already here. It's right in the middle of the park. And it's not good, it's in a cul-de-sac, but the other entrances, either the legitimacy of the ownership is contested, or the road is in horrible shape. There's nowhere to put a car. And so it was like, they put it in the plan. And everyone had something to say about that.
Right.
And our committee worked very hard, and Friends on a Pond worked very hard working with the planning people, the IMBA people, to say, well, let's find a better place. This one looks good, but it's not.
Exactly. I don't think,
So,
I'll speak for myself, and probably most of my neighbors, did not move out there to be subject to traffic. And if you look at, you know, even like Model Pond, you go down there, the damage, the vandalism, I go fishing down there a lot. And I see a lot of shady dealings going on. You know, people have a funny way of greeting each other, but a handshake out each other's window, and then one drives off. So that's not what I want in my neighborhood, and I don't think most of my neighborhoods.
we totally agree. So we went to the planning people and we said, no, that's not a good place. Let's work on this. And it sounds very much like they are working.
Yeah, it's just such a peaceful place, I just hate to give that up, I mean,
Sure.
you know, it's great, the neighbors are great, the neighborhood is great. You turn into, you know, if you look at Amston Lake, that rail trail down there, Amston, right off 85. If that amount of cars was to come park at the end of Lake Ridge Drive, we'd be looking out our windows, looking like we live in the middle of Walmart's parking lot.
Yep, you're
So-
right. And they heard you and, we just have to
No.
be patient and wait.
I appreciate your explanation and your
Yep.
time, thank you.
Yep. Does anyone else have a question or comment?
Just one comment, Todd Shepherd, High County. The flagging that we've done a little bit in the past has been removed. And probably a comment that we should tell Deep and Imba about that, you know, when Tom and I have flagged the potential trail, 4 times the flag's been taken down by somebody on state property, so I would just be prepared to, you know, I'm not sure if they can use paint or something, or some other way that, because otherwise, I don't think they're gonna stay. If you have the same experience we had.
Well,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
Uh,
I can definitely, I'm assuming that maybe Liz has had experience like that around the country and maybe she has a good idea, but I'll definitely relay that to them.
good, thank you.
I have one question. Liz, we'd, wanted to see a boardwalk or something between, like across the wetlands, the south end of Model Pond. Is that under consideration to add back into the plan?
Yes, I think IMBA is completely in support of that. And, yeah, I think they really want that. I think it's more about, you know, thinking it through funding, and anything that we have to approve with the state. So I think, that is definitely something that they are in support of. And I think will be reflected in the plan.
Very good. Anybody else? Going on. Callie, thank you so much for attending. And you're
Absolutely.
welcome to stay if you wish, or if you have busy things.
Public engagement will probably not be until the fall. Is that what we're thinking?
Oh, one more question.
Yes, sorry, say that again.
Tom asked a question, Kelly.
The public engagement won't be until the fall?
Yes, is that?
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I think that's probably true.
Okay. We'll start planning.
Okay. Sounds good. And maybe we can touch base about, once I get IMBA's schedule, I will pass that along and hopefully we can find a day during that week, maybe to all convene or something along those lines.
Yes.
And like I mentioned, I'm going to invite, a couple folks from the state too, who maybe haven't done the walk, as well. So I'll keep you guys informed about that.
Good. We will definitely make plans for that. So we look forward to hearing from you.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. We don't have anyone else on,
No, just our committee.
okay. All right, so I do not have any reports on or any further reports. So we'll just leave that. And I think we'll move on. We're missing Justin. So the planning and zoning report, I would attended the meeting. And so I'll just briefly report that the planning and zoning continues to update their regs, and it continues the public hearing on the agriculture. Well, there were, 4 or 5 regs that they were looking at, but the hot button issue was the agriculture regulations. And there was a huge amount of input, very scientific and well organized and very nicely presented by the audience. And this came from the Agriculture and Conservation Commission and the Lake Management Group, because the big concern was the amount of phosphorus going into water. And so they were concerned that the changes in the agriculture regulations, which would relax the number of animals that you could put on a property. They were afraid that, for instance, people on the lake with a 1/4 acre of land might have a flock of chickens. And so they were, and by law, they could do that. And if the reg went through. And so they were all upset that there would be too much nitrogen entering into the lake. So they're collecting all of this testimony, this scientific data, and they're going to invite the limnologist to come in and speak at the next session of the hearing. They continued the hearing until they could collect all of this data and then digest it. And so more to follow. And it's getting very, very interesting because it's a real science lesson. It's amazing. And we're hearing from the farmers, the farming community, about all about different kinds of nitrogen and how they're absorbed in soil and how some kinds are not. And it's quite fascinating. And I don't think planning and zoning is quite counting on getting this much information, but they're very, very grateful for it, because a whole lot of very smart people and astute minds are putting their input into these regulations. That's planning and zoning. Okay.
I have a question for Paul.
This-
Paul, do you think that Justin is still involved with our committee?
Oh, yeah, he actually might be traveling today, so
Yeah,
he's got job commitment, so I'm pretty sure that's what's holding him up from coming today.
yes, he's with us. I talked to him.
Yeah.
I talk to him when he doesn't show up.
Well, that isn't.
Don't believe
Committed to the
it.
committee.
He's our link.
He's here in spirit.
Yes, yes. He's our hot link to planning and zoning. Which is good, very good thing. Okay, Salmon River Partnership.
There's no report of it because, Zoom was down yesterday, she said. But she sent along the document that I'm sure each of you would like to, Tom, do you officially have it? No. You can have that. Thank you. This is the collection of green spaces, reserves in the watershed.
Oh, wow.
And I had opportunity to contribute, I hope it's all accurate. But it'll be a nice resource to have as you're planning your next hike.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's good.
And we'll make up that need sometime somehow.
Right. This is great.
He's put a lot of work into it, an intern is charged with this,
Yep.
A lot of towns are contributing.
Yes, this is wonderful.
And,
Josh. Yes,
and cannot be scanned and emailed out.
yes.
I'll forward my email, I'll forward what they sent me.
All right, thanks, Ron.
It's much clearer on my
Yeah.
computer than it is when printed, but
Well,
it's nice to have.
Send that to Jen too, town administrator,
She has it.
the electronic file.
Well, I'll check with her, make sure she kept it.
She can,
Oh, I'm sure she did.
She
she
printed
can scan it.
Okay, good.
it.
So that's
Yeah.
from an original, not a photocopy.
Well, it's the Salmon River watershed.
Hmm.
It's a map with all the green spaces within that watershed. And then a checklist if you want to take a hike.
If anyone in the audience wants a copy, we can make it at the end of the meeting.
This is all your protected open space. That's great.
Oh, and I'll just give you a quick update. We did have a meeting with Marshall, Melissa, and Mary Ann on Pine Street with Rob and I, because we'd already met with Ken earlier, over a year ago, and we met with them a couple days ago, and we were challenged to get back with a plan that will incorporate some of their thoughts based on that meeting, so I'll put that together and we'll have more information once I get a plan in writing.
Very good.
So,
Is there any comment you could make?
just that it was a good discussion back and forth, and it has some, possibility to take their concerns into play.
Good. Okay. Okay. Could you report to us on the airline and Hotline Trail?
All right, so the airline trail, I was gonna meet Monday, I believe at Linden Town Hall. So that's April 21st, from 3 to 4:30. So that's would be representatives from all 12 towns would be there
Wait, what's the date, Tom?
on Monday, April 21st.
What time?
I believe it's 3 to 4:30. But the notice, I believe the notice has been sent out again.
Is
At
that-
which town hall?
Wyndham.
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 And that the most recent meetings have just been online. This was supposed to be a hybrid. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen or not. That was the last I heard. And then Hot River, they have a work party scheduled for Saturday, April 26th. Which is gonna be 3 different spots. It'll be, one in Wyndham, Columbia area. And then,
Where do you meet for that?
it's all posted out on the Hot River Trail Alliance Facebook page as to which place, how to register for it, which spot you wanna work at.
Can you get me, I'm gonna be on WILI on Monday, so I can announce that for you. Just make sure I have it in.
Yeah, so that'll be on Saturday, the
Right.
26th, from 10 to 12 at 3 different locations.
In the 12.
Just you and your group,
Anybody
just you and your
who
singing
wants
group?
to volunteer?
No, for me? No, I'm interviewed as to what is happening in Columbia once a month on WILI. It was supposed to be this Friday, but that's Good Friday. So we moved it.
And the Hot River Group, had applied for a grant and got the grant last year to improve signage along the whole Hot River Trail. And just the way it worked out, they didn't use all the money they had, so they still have some opportunity to do some improvements in the Columbia area, so I forwarded that to Ann. And Beth and I got copied on some of the signage they might wanna add at road crossings.
Are they complete with the signage at the Hot River Bridge, the car bridge?
I believe so.
I was just there yesterday on the Hot River Preserve. I did go across the bridge to see what the signage. was.
Yes, yep, yeah, the new kiosk and stuff is up on, that's on the Coventry side, yeah.
Yes. Kiosk is very nice.
Local Columbia Boy Scout did it as an Eagle project.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, nice.
Who's that? Nathan?
Yeah.
Nathan,
Drawn a blank too.
Tomash?
no.
This is coming up, this ceremony's coming up. Maybe Tomash.
Yeah,
So, not me. But it was good Tomash. Anyway, Tomash is.
Signage. We used to have no motorized vehicles signs at the end of the road. We started to see some mini bike activity again. Is that something that open space could or would request from Deep? Do they, it's on their property, and there used to be one on each side, but they just fallen down or been shot down. Over time. I think it would be nice to maybe get that kind of sign. It was a nice looking sign. It wasn't like, a big white, reflective sign. It was just a simple, no motorized vehicle, so it'd be good to post it someplace. I think,
There has been added activity to that.
yeah, it's a couple kids, I haven't seen them go on, but they've been riding up there, turning around and coming back. Maybe they know, but I think it would be nice to have those signs up there again.
It's not just kids, it's a father with 2 little kids too, so should know better.
That's my neighbor.
We don't, Tom, we'll have to either request us from Deep or.
Yep.
Do it myself.
okay. Thank you. We'll take care of that.
So long as they can have it.
Anything else, friends, on?
Oh, Friends of Mineral Pond, we're gonna meet directly after this meeting to cover anything that wasn't covered here. And then for those that couldn't meet this morning, we're gonna have another meeting on Tuesday night, April 22nd, here from 7 o'clock on.
Is that on the calendar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
27. Okay, and that'll be here,
Yes.
okay. Good. Trail maintenance. How are we doing?
trails are in pretty good shape, but then we've had a lot of little storms here, so we get branches down and trees down.
Yeah.
I know Todd and I took care of the trees that were down up in, Island Woods area a couple of weeks ago, so that's all good.
Yeah, the Ugly Hill Preserve is well maintained. I've got my chainsaw man back. For his hip replacement.
That's Scott.
Yeah.
Wow, you're gonna make it work.
He lives out there, he lives out there, got a lighter saw.
How does the state feel about, I mean, Todd and Tom are taking the time to go out there and do that. But how does the state feel about, you know, regular citizens, residents going out there with chainsaws and potentially?
Not well,
I can see why.
yes.
And Tom was at my, you know, he gave me his time to come to my house to explain some of this to me, but
Yeah.
that was one of my questions to him. I mean, yeah, I walk the trails. I don't want to step over trees or step in mud to get around it. But my concern is, what happens when these guys cut their legs off? I mean, what happens?
So the way it works is the town has a management agreement with the state,
Okay,
and the town conservation commission trails committee is responsible for trail maintenance. That was a part of the original agreement. And that's one of the roles I perform as a volunteer.
okay. So when you were at my house, and I appreciate that visit, you had told me that you knighted an acquaintance of yours to go out there and cut on your behalf. Does that person have any part in that agreement, or is it just people that are involved with the Friends of Montauk Pond and?
So this would be, it wouldn't be Friends of Mountain Pond, it would be the town conservation commission trail committee.
Right,
It's an agreement with the state that the town would supply this resource
but
to volunteers.
who are the members that are allowed to take advantage of that agreement?
Right now, it's just Todd and I.
Okay, so you guys are all set, if you yourself, or?
Be acting on behalf of the town. as a-
Yeah,
As
okay, so the
a
town.
committee member of the town.
Okay, I'm good with that.
And any, trail maintenance, like, I've spent many years with Joshua's Trust in their stewardship
Okay.
department. We train and we supply our chainsaw people with chaps, helmets, ear protectors, the
Right.
whole thing, and they take training.
Mhm.
And then they are the ones who go out and do the chainsaw work,
Okay,
and they are under Joshua Trust insurance,
okay,
so that we don't have just anybody out there with
well,
rusty chainsaws on their leg
Yeah.
off, because then it reflects back on the property owner.
Hmm.
See,
yeah. Okay, well, I'm good with that.
as well as.
I'm not agreeing with Chase,
Yeah.
I might lose a toe.
I mean, you know, everybody goes to Home Depot and buy a chainsaw, now all of a sudden they're a lumberjack, you know? And that's the people I worry about.
Right, and my husband, aging as he is and living, he's still trained and he's got all the equipment.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I always take a picture of it and doing the work and send it to Joshua's
yeah, it's
Trust and
just
say,
our,
see, he is all duded up.
our son used to work for, Tenant Tree Service. I mean, these guys are professionals, they have all the gear in the world. And I could tell you a few stories that the professionals got lack that, so
Well,
that's only my concern.
and we tried very hard to avoid that. So if you see something out there that anyone does, report it to Tom.
Yeah.
Joshua
I can do that,
Trust.
trust.
But if you report it, then they can take care of it.
Thanks, you.
And then you don't have to step over. Okay,
What we had tried to do too is there's the Bike Walk Columbia Facebook group. And
yes,
we've asked people to report things there. Because of all the different trails,
Very
and then we try to report any updates we have there also.
good.
Okay, moving on.
Moving along, okay, new business, okay? You've all received, the list of that Tom McGrath made going through the P F C D. And I hope you had a chance to read that over and look through the PFCD. So I'm gonna ask you now, do you have any added goals that you want to see if we can put in the next plan of conservation and development?
I have a general question about it. If you read one of the old P O C D, there's about 10 pages in there of narratives and history. And are we planning on reworking any of that narrative, or are we just gonna kind of just replicate that in the same format that it's in now?
Well, the short answer is I don't know.
The true answer.
I'm not writing yet. But we have been, the town planner, John Kaskowski, is writing this.
So he's the editor for that.
He is the editor, and he has been very receptive to input from conservation and open space, which I have provided, and Tom, being on conservation, has provided. And but he doesn't chat with me every day. So I'm not really sure how that goes. And I'm pretty sure he's working on it. But planning and zoning wants to work on it too in meeting. And right now, they are up to their eyeballs in these hearings about the regs. So I project that'll take another month at least before they turn it. So we just have to stay tuned and try to see if we can figure out what's actually happening.
So I'll tell you one thing to share, the last time this group met, we were looking at the survey that they were gonna do.
Yes,
And we had some questions about some of the wording of that. After that, I was able to locate a copy of the 2015 survey and all the responses to it, which I just shared with everybody this morning by email.
didn't get to it.
No,
Yeah.
I forgot about it. It just dawned on me as I was going out the door to come here and I hadn't sent it. So I thought at some point, maybe look at the
Yeah.
old survey and the new survey and see what might be requested for a change in the new survey.
I did hear a comment at planning and zoning made by John Kaskowski. I believe the chairman asked him on Zoom if he had started on the POC deal where it was. And he reported that he got feedback on the questioning. And so he had commented that having gotten feedback on it, we revised it. Nobody offered to share that with me, so we have to be humble in these things. So, all in all, I would say the plan is coming along. We're going to make some kind of change to the questionnaire. And that is due to come out in the next years. That's what John Christopher just said. That's his plan. So whatever it is, there'll be no more revisions. Because I think the deadline will be used very soon.
Yeah, it's like May 5th or 6th or something, and the magazine will come out the first week in June.
But I cannot know.
Oh, right, oh, no, I'm sorry, you're right, it will come out in May,
In May.
right, I'm sorry,
Yeah, there's one at the proof stage right now,
right,
which
yeah,
is the proof came in yesterday.
yeah.
So no more changes to the question. But we got our two cents.
Good.
Okay. Okay, water and wildlife corridors. And I'm still 7174. House Bill 7174 came into my inbox from the Connecticut Land Conservation Council. And that is a House bill. And I can't seem to figure out where Bill went, whether it's in committee, if it got dumped or what. But essentially what it is the Rivers Alliance, which is a nonprofit organization in Connecticut that advocates for riparian corridors. Was advocating this bill before the State House to further protect riparian corridors in Connecticut, to strengthen the inland wetland commission's rules and regulations to keep water courses better from erosion and invasive species. And these would be not just rivers, but streams and water bodies too, like lakes, ponds, rivers, and vernal pools. And so that's exactly what I've been pushing for in Columbia. So I went, oh, great, the state will do it for me. But I think this House bill is going to take a while, and I'm not sure.
What's the number again, Ian? I'll look into it.
House Bill 7174.
7174?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check in. And that's a wetlands protection.
Yeah.
Bill?
Well, riparian border.
Core.
Border protection.
So. More
They're not
fun.
looking for input, are they soliciting input at this point?
Yes, I think so. I sense,
Is there a website,
well,
the house?
usually somebody sends me, go here and do this, you know, but I didn't get to go here and do this yet.
I'll look into
So,
it, see if I can.
Yeah, that would be good because Skim River, I'm sure, has windows.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, but I was thinking of Gilbert's Brook.
I was too. Because,
All just posted.
you know, in open space, what we do is protect natural resources through open space. But purchasing a lot of open space is expensive. So it's better if you can do it without having to buy up landowners' land. It's,
He just sent it to me.
it's better if it just gets protected from that. So I did actually broach this subject with Fort Guskowski. And and he hates to see me coming.
Do we know who the Congress, is this in the House at this point, or do we know who the congressmen are who put
No, I
this forward?
didn't even know that. This was just an email that came through the House bill on it and said, if you're in corridors, and I went, yes, yes. So, yes, we need to find out more and find out where it is and what's happening. But I did talk to Tom Guskowski about approaching planning and zoning like this, sort of like the lake overlay. If we can protect our rivers and our streams in this manner without without taking purchasing any land from the owner, if the owner of the land could do this themselves to protect the water, this would help not only the landowner, but the whole town and the whole region by creating or maintaining clean water and non-sanitation. So we're still working on it. Does anybody, oh, and in addition, if you sort of widen these corridors a little, they become wildlife corridors, so that wildlife can get from point A to point B without having to go into the neighborhoods and eat the flowers. So, anyway, it's, as far as I can see, it's a really good thing. And hope we can get it done. Okay, does anybody have any other business? In audience of citizens?
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else? Okay. Do we need executive? No. Okay. I move we adjourn.
At 9:56.
Right on time.
But all,
54.
oh, my people, yeah, all in favor?
But well, thanks for coming. Thank you.